It's not like you don't have enough to do, but there are a few garden tasks you should consider doing.
That's right. All right, do you have a dog? Roof.
Yes, you do.
This is tick season. You know, all of a sudden, you know, where do ticks come from? All of a sudden, if you have like, at my home, I have an area where it's kind of like brushy. A little bit of brush, you know, or even like say if you have like forsythias, or you have some areas along the edge of your property or even on your property, even in your landscape, it's tick season. So Absolutely. You need to spray for ticks. That there are a number of solutions out there that you can use 8, which is what I certainly like to use from Bonide, that will control any ticks and fleas as well. But you should make sure that you're doing your yard as well, because you don't want to just do, you know, one or the other. A lot of times there's granular types of insect controls that control ticks, fleas, and ticks, but everybody just puts them down on the yard, on the grass, thinking that they're done, but you're not. You need to spray basically the areas of where your dog may go, where it's near shrubs or near things like that, and that's what needs to be sprayed. So you're doing a perimeter spray of any of the foliage that's sticking out. All right, Aaron. I look on YouTube. We wanted to make sure that you saw it. 8 is what to do, and it comes in a. There's also Fertilome has a bug blaster above and below. That is what I use, but I own not only for ticks, but I use it for ants as well.
That stuff works.
Yeah.
Really does. Really does.
That is, so again, that's Bug Blaster above and below. It's a granular, that's a excellent product.
I told you, it made my movie night happen.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Tell about your movie night.
Yeah, this time last year, we weren't able to do a movie night in our yard. It was terrible. Oh, really? I put down a granule at the beginning of the season, and it's much better now. This time was really bad. I mean, you were talking about ticks. I actually got bit by a tick last year.
Really?
Yeah, in my yard. And they say, I actually read a story. They said that actually the rise, it's actually, I think it's like 20% more people have been going to the emergency room as a result of tick bites this season alone.
See, you're near the woods. You're near the
I'm rural, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm in the sticks. That's what we call them. The boonies.
That's it.
I love it, man. Absolutely.
Here's a tip. Don't let your weeds go to seed. You have one plant. Okay, and that's from one seed. And now you grow that one weed from that one seed. And now when it goes to seed, you've got hundreds, possibly thousands of weed seeds coming off of that one plant. So again, that is going to be an issue. So when you start seeing the seed head of your weeds, there's a problem because it's going to be all over everywhere. So you want to spray your weeds before they get that seed head on them. And again, there's different solutions that you can use. There are some things, if they're in your lawn, that's going to be one type. If it's in around your landscape, that's going to be another type. Talk to your local garden center and ask them what you need to do. You have to make sure that you know where you're going to spray it. Sometimes you can do the same one for each one, but this is how it works. There is selective herbicides that you would put on your lawn that will not kill your grass, but it will kill the weeds. Around your landscape beds, and some of the other edges of your property, sidewalk cracks, things like that, that is non-selective, where it's going to kill that weed and anything else, and also any ornamental plants that you have. So you have to be protective of how you do it. But don't let those seeds go into seed heads. You got to spray them and get rid of them before then.
Yeah. Whew.
All right. Julio, leaves of 3?
Leaves of 3, let them be.
What are we talking about? Poison ivy.
Poison ivy. Yeah.
Poison ivy. My son Carl, I don't know if he had poison ivy is over, but he was doing some work, and he gets it every year. Yeah, he gets it every year. Yeah. And that it is an awful plant because sometimes it's mixed in with other plants. And again, it gets on you, and everybody knows what poison ivy is. Spray it. Control it, get rid of it for your kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, dogs on their coats can pick it up, and that oil gets on their coats, and then you go to pet your dog, and all of a sudden, how did I get poison ivy? Well, guess what? Make sure you go through it. Leaves of 3, let them be. A lot of times people think that like Creeping Charlie is that it's that, or Virginia Creeper. Again, it doesn't necessarily look like that vining plant that it is. Leaves of 3, let them be. Spray them with poison ivy control. Right. What about disease control on your lawn?
Mm-hmm, sure. We have F-Stop by Fertilizer.
Yeah, why do I want to do it?
To prevent all that diseases that come in during this time of year with humidity the way it is and high heat.
And what you want to do is something that is systemic. F-Stop comes in both a liquid and ready to spray, where you just go and attach it to your hose and you spray the area, or it comes in a granule. And again, that is VPG is the manufacturer. It's a great product. And again, it's systemic. We love systemics because it makes the plant resistant to whether it's insect or, in this case, disease. You want to use a systemic, and this is preventative maintenance, folks. Once you have a disease, it is very difficult to get it back. Needs to take time to clean up. If you use this, it's safe, it's done, and you won't have the disease issues. Your neighbors will be complaining, my lawn looks terrible. Well, and you just smile and pat yourself on the back for doing a little bit of preventive maintenance. So you want a disease preventer that's a systemic. And again, I like F-Stop from VPG, or this is a Fertilome product. VPG is the manufacturer. So Fertilome F-Stop is what you want to look for. Yeah. Roses. It's time. Yeah. I know my roses need to be pruned. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Trick to pruning roses. Roses are scary to a lot of people because they think, when do I do it? Mm-hmm. You got to do, after a 5 cluster of leaves, you cut it below that cluster. You want to spray them with insect and disease control. And with that particular one, I like BioAdvance, that Rose Care, that they have one that is both it's a disease control, but they also have disease control, insect control, and fertilizer, and they're all systemic, all in the same bottle. That blue bottle that we run that commercial, that's the one. Mm-hmm. And then again, it fertilizing with water soluble. All of your annuals, it's time. You want to do it every couple of weeks, and that we like the Jack's. And that where Jack's Classic, either you can use the best one is the petunia feed, and it's done specifically for those hybrid varieties of petunias and verbena and all those specialty hybrid plants that you planted just a little while ago. So keep them growing and keep them looking great by making sure you're using a water-soluble fertilizer.
Do it.
It's key.
Yep.
It's key.
If you want flowers,